Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. Well, as you can see, I got my hair cut this week. I've gone for quite a short bob look. Is quite styled at the back and a bit messy. I can make it all curly at the moment. I've got it reasonably straight. So that was nice. I was just sick of the super long hair, so I went out to the shops, did a few things that I'll talk about in business shortly, and also got my hair cut. This week it really has started to feel like autumn. I feel like there are still some hot days to come, but it has been a much cooler week. Still nice sunny days during the day, but not hot. And we have even had some rain, good rain at night, which has been nice. Um, Adam and I had actually just looked at the tanks here at the shed and were concerned that it was starting to get a little bit low and we needed to be a little bit conservative about how much water we were going to be using now, not knowing when we might get some rain. And then we've had a couple of really good showers. We have used quite a lot of water this summer. Had a lot of new plants put in, so we were watering those. I've been talking about using the sprinkler, and we're doing that quite frequently. And we also did about 10 spray rig tanks, and that's 600 litres per session. So that's quite a lot of water. And I've been dyeing a lot here in the studio as well. So there has been a lot of water going out and not a lot coming back in. So we do still have to watch our water usage over here because those rain showers weren't significant, but it was enough just to top up the tanks a little bit. So there'll be no more sprinkling in the sheep paddock. Not that I think it's going to need it now. We're getting the dews and we are getting a little bit of rain. And their little area out here is starting to regenerate quite well. So I think what I will do is probably this weekend, I will move them into this little area for a while because we have decided that we're going to try, now that it's a little bit cooler, to replant some trees in the sheep paddock. Now, you might remember that we did plant some shrubs and trees in there last year, and we put star pickets around them and then chicken wire, but it wasn't a big enough space, and they also pushed very hard against that chicken wire, and they literally bowed it in and ate everything. And I don't think they were the right kind of plants either. They were sort of more low-lying shrub kind of things. We actually need to plant things that are going to become trees that are going to go up and have a trunk and then create canopy. So yesterday, Adam and I started the process. We made a big rectangle in the paddock that will be where the trees will be housed. It is fairly large, but it doesn't feel like it takes up too much of the grass. But it's something that we're going to have to sacrifice in order to get shade long term in the paddock. So we've got 6 star pickets. So along the longer side, we've got one in the middle, and we've got beams of wood at the top and the bottom. And what I need to now do, which is why I'm going to move the sheep into the shed grass area, because they're just going to get in the way and be inside where I need them to be outside the area. So I need to really tightly attach chicken wire to the wood panel on the top and the bottom and stretch it across really tightly. And then they shouldn't be able to push too far in to be able to get into the trees that are in the middle. That's the aim. If we have to then put another beam through the middle, we will, depending on how they go with it to start with. And then we should be able to fit, 4 or 5 trees into this area and just see what grows and what takes. And once it gets to the height of the star pickets, then we should be able to take all of that down, and hopefully then it's grown enough that the sheep can still pick at the ends, but it's not going to completely decimate the tree, and they'll be able to have shade and they can lean up against the trunk, and it'll just make the paddock a much nicer area for them. So I'll be doing that this weekend. That's the big project for the weekend, to get the wire in. Hopefully we've got enough here, otherwise I might have to do a dash out to the local rural supply to get some more wire and maybe some more staples for attaching the wire to the wood, and also planting the trees. So if the sheep are out of the way, I can get that done hopefully much quicker than if they're in my way the whole time. We also had the blackberry spray contractor come out. I think I mentioned it last week. So they spent 2 days here. They did 1 day with the woody weeds, and then they've done 1 day of blackberry spraying along the length of the creek. So that's tackled that issue for this season. So now we just have to wait and see how it all goes. And I have done some research, and I have approached our local land care and trying to now figure out how to get rid of those canes, and if some controlled burning of some kind is the way to go. I think it probably will be, but we just need to go through the right channels and make sure that council, CFA, all of that kind of thing is on board and knows what we're doing, so that it is done safely and in a respectful and environmentally safe way as well. So yeah, I did go out to the shops for a day when I got my haircut, and I bought quite a lot of things for market prep. I bought some new baskets for displaying my yarn. I just wanted some different options to be able to change things around a little bit and have some the same as what I already had, and then change things up a little bit. I found a display cube unit. It's supposed to be a tower, but I think I'm gonna like lay it horizontally across the table, and it's got 3 cube spaces. And I think that looks really cool. And what I'm able to do with that is actually set up the yarn inside it. And hopefully with my tubs of yarn as well, I can fit it in the car. I've got to do a trial on that. But it should fit in the car with the yarn inside it, so that part of my setup is already done, and I can literally just take it out and put it on the table, and it's ready as a display. So that was quite exciting little discovery that I found. And it's really quite sturdy, and I'm able to put baskets on top of it, and I really like how the yarn looks inside it as well. I also bought a tip trolley, one of those ones that kind of folds up and is quite light and is really quite portable. I'd borrowed one from my dad, which was an older version, which was hard for me to pull up and down. This one is brand new, obviously, and is quite light, and it should be able to easily carry all of my tubs and yarn that I need. It'll just make the setup and pack up of carrying tubs back and forth from the car a lot easier. That's the hope anyway. So getting the new tubs and the new display unit, I've had fun this week starting to think about different market stall setups again. I really do enjoy doing that. It's fun to it's a different way to use the creative mind, I think. So I got the tables out, and I initially just started by putting the baskets and some of the ways I thought I would be displaying the yarn out onto the tables, and kind of playing around with different configurations of how the baskets would look and where I would put that 3 cube unit. And then once I'd sort of got a bit of an idea of how I thought it would work, I then put some of the yarn in. So I think it's important for me anyway to picture it properly. I need to actually see it with the yarn and which yarn is going to go where, from a logic point of view in terms of 8-ply and 4-ply and all that kind of thing, but also to see the stock actually in the space, and whether I need to get more dyed up, or whether I've got enough to do what I need to do, and how I'm going to replenish, and where the spare stock's going to be, and how many of each skein I'm going to display at any one time. So I've done some of that. I've put everything back in the tubs now, and then next week I will do another dry run of all of that stuff before my first market of the year, which is the Yarra Valley Handicraft and Wool Show, which is on the 19th. So I am full steam ahead preparing for that. And just prior to that, I'll be teaching sock classes at the Tea Time Yarn Retreat. So that is going to be a mega busy weekend. And speaking of classes, I've just had some dates confirmed with Unwind Craft Cafe in April and May for some sock classes, some magic loop, like knitting in the round, and how to do like 2 at a time, socks and sleeves, things like that, and also some brioche classes. So if you're interested in those, I will leave a link below to my website page, which has all of my markets and events on it, so you can check out the details of that there. And of course, I have been dyeing more yarn this week, inspired a little bit by some more autumnal winter kind of colorways. So I've done a batch of Winter Sunrise, which is literally about to be rinsed and hung to dry right now. I've also done some City Sunset, which is a colorway I haven't dyed for a really long time. It was one of my very first colorways, and it came from a photo that I'd taken of the city skyline at sunset, and it was one of the first colorways that I really tried to do an inspiration based kind of thing, not just throwing some colors in the pot and seeing what happens. So it's sort of nice to go back to one of those first colorways and do it again. So I've got that on DK and on sock yarn, and that will be available at the market in 2 weeks' time. Probably get a few batches of yarn dyed up before that first market. As I've been looking at what my stocks look like, there are some, I feel like there might be a few gaps that I need to fill, and I'll probably do a few additional batches of some of the colorways that I already have dyed up that I know are quite popular, so that there will be quite a lot of stock to choose from when you see me there. I'm in the middle of a lot of knitting projects at the moment, so I've got progress to show you on everything, but it may not look like a lot. The socks probably have seen the most in terms of progress. So last week, I literally just showed you the little matching toe of the stripes, and now I'm up to putting in the heel of the second one. So you can see there they are matching up. So I'll be putting in the heel very soon on that one, once I get up to the next pink stripe. I haven't done a ton of knitting really, so the Woolamai Pine cowl has probably seen the least amount of work, but I am up to adding in You're Turning Violet Violet for the second time. So you can see I'm about to repeat the colours on that. So isn't it really pretty? I really don't have much more to say about this week, but I am loving how it's turning out. And I've made progress on my Calliope jumper. I have split for the sleeves and knit maybe 4 or 5 rounds past the sleeves, and I've just finished the first ball of the tweed. So my plan now is to not continue with the body, but instead knit the sleeves 2 at a time with the 2 balls of the tweed that I have, so 1 ball per sleeve. And hopefully they don't pull too much on the sleeve, but it's kind of hard to stop that so much on that small circumference. The body hasn't pulled since I stopped the increases, so I was quite happy with that. Then I will go back and knit the body. The ribbing on the sleeves is quite long. It kind of starts just below the elbow. So I'm not going to use a ton of the tweed, I think, on the sleeves, which is hopefully going to still give me enough length in the body, because I only have the 2 balls left, and that's the reason why I've added the pink at the top, and I'm going to do the pink on the sleeves and the pink around the bottom of the jumper as well. So what I can do is I want to get the sleeves the right length, so that they're comfortable and that it's a proper winter warm jumper. And then I can use every last bit of the tweed to get the body as long as I possibly can in that color, and hopefully I get it to the length that I want it. And by using the 2 different balls on the sleeves at the same time, I can then, if I need to, alternate those balls in the body rather than end up with just one left to do the body at the end. And then I will finish the body with the pink. hopefully it is just the amount of ribbing that's called for, but if I do need to make it a little bit longer, then I can with the pink, because I'm pretty sure I'll have plenty to do that. So that is the plan there. As you can see, it's looking really good. So yeah, quite a bit of progress on this one, really. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.